Hey guys, Multi-Classic Vlogs here on today's May 31st, Thursday, 2018. And well, it's been just a regular work day basically. Um, yeah, I went to work at noon today and then I got back at 8 o'clock. It is now 10:19 p.m. and I'm just sitting here at my computer right now. Oh, I guess one thing I could do today is I could show you the last instances of me collecting actually recently. So, I picked up three Game Boy games in their original boxes and with the instruction manuals and everything. And that is these games right here, the Donkey Kong Land trilogy. And a few years ago, I didn't even know these games existed, but yeah, they are. They're basically Game Boy versions of the Donkey Kong Country trilogy on the Super Nintendo. And the quality obviously doesn't match the Super Nintendo games, but it's still, for Game Boy games, they're pretty good still. So yeah, I'll eventually play through those eventually, like probably long after I play through the Donkey Kong Country series. I did beat the original Donkey Kong Country last year, so it can happen. Just gotta get to Donkey Kong Country 2 next, and then 3, and then Returns, and then Tropical Freeze, and then so on and so forth. And this is probably the perfect year to do so, considering Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was just re-released on the Switch, so eventually I'm going to have to pick that up and maybe try that version. I do have the Wii U version, and it is kind of pointless for me to collect the Switch version, but you guys know me with my video game collecting these days, so, just can't really help it. Yeah. I'm just so happy I'm always happy whenever I get the original box of an old video game system, because sometimes you can tell just by the smell of the box how old it is. Like, especially with my copy of Pac-Man on the Atari 2600. That's a prime example of that. You can just smell the age of the box basically. Yeah, I mean it's good times today at work basically. This is only work day 2 out of 6 though, so I have 4 more to go. And one of them is an opening shift, and I hate that. I really hate opening shifts at work because I start at 6:30 in the morning, and I know people are probably just gonna, you know, people who probably work earlier shifts than me are probably just gonna go in the comments and be like, "Well, I have to work this early." It's like, okay, well that's you. You're you, and I'm gonna tell you what I am. I am a night owl. I prefer to be up later at night, and I prefer to sleep in, later in the day. For the past up until I moved into this apartment, the past basically from the time that I went from being an overnight cashier to working at the new store in August last year. Basically up from that point on up until last month, I was basically going to bed at 4 in the morning, wake up at noon, and then going straight to work from there. That's what I've been used to the past several months. But then, last month comes around, I move over here, and I'm working at another new store, and this time my schedule is just all over the place. Like I was practically closing 90% of the time at my last store, and now here I am having a bunch of opening shifts and whatnot at my new store, just so I can keep my hours up to 40. So I just hate rotating shifts. I don't like the fact that I have to keep on constantly interrupting my sleep schedule, my natural sleep schedule that my body is so accustomed to. It's just not right. But that's just how I am. No matter what they try to do to my schedule, I will always be a night owl. I will always stay up late. So if they give me morning shift, the only thing that's going to happen is I'm just going to have a lot less sleep going into the next day. You know, I can only wake up as late as half an hour before my shift. So that means I have to wake up at 6 a.m. And if I'm used to going to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning, well, I'm only going to get 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So that's that. You know? And there's nothing to it. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah, there is an advantage to having an opening shift, though. At least with that, I'm getting off at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm still going to stay up as late as I can. So, that just means I end up with 12 hours to hang out basically after that. Yeah, that is assuming that the next shift isn't an opening shift, which half the time it isn't. pretty much like only one out of my 6 shifts that I'm going through right now are opening shift. The rest of them are mid shift. So, most of the time I'm going to work at 11 in the morning, and that involves me waking up at 10:30 at the latest. So, I'm able to stay up most nights, but just not Saturday night, which is the night before my morning shift. So yeah, there's that. I did find out the other day about Capri Sun's mom dying. And I I really feel for Tim because I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically it's like first you lose your it just sucks, like people who lose all their grandparents and then lose both their parents. I just can't imagine being in that kind of dismay. But whatever, that's all I'm gonna go into that. I just feel bad, but at the same time, I know he'll get through this and he'll be fine. But still, it's just really sad. Like even if I was in my 40s, I wouldn't bear to lose pretty much all my family like that. I wouldn't. But I can definitely tell you that I won't have grandparents on my dad's side much longer. Without going into too much detail, my grandfather on my dad's side, he actually died around my dad's birthday, which is around Valentine's Day in 2010. So about a little over 8 years ago. And although it didn't affect me much because, I didn't really get to know much. I only saw him like twice in my lifetime. And that's because he lived all the way down in Oklahoma, which is where my dad's family is. So, it just didn't really affect me all that much because I didn't see him very often. And now lately, throughout the past couple years, my grandmother on my dad's side has been, going through stages of Alzheimer's, and it's getting to the point where she can't, like, basically just very recently, it's gotten to the point where she can't live by herself anymore. Like she has to, yeah. It's just really sad. So basically, before I know it, it won't be much longer. I won't have any grandparents on my dad's side. I still have the rest of the family down there, yeah, but still, I hardly ever see them as it is. But on the other hand, I've also got my grandparents on my mom's side up here, and they're doing really well. So it is what it is. So I'm just glad that I have family, but at the same time, I feel for those who don't. It's just a tough world, and that's just how it is. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. Everyone has to go eventually. Well, at any rate, folks, the topic got kind of depressing today, but I don't know how much time I'm up to today. Right now, I think must be up to 8 minutes. Okay. Well, we're gonna cut it there. So I will see you guys in my next vlog whenever that is. I apologize for my long hair. A few years ago, I actually started this pattern, like this routine, sort of, where I give myself a haircut on the first day of the first month of each quarter of the year, basically, if that makes any sense. So basically, like, I get a haircut, I'm supposed to get a haircut tomorrow, June 1st, because tomorrow's June 1st, and then my next haircut after that is September 1st, and next haircut after that is December 1st, the next haircut after that is March 1st, and then back to June 1st, and so on and so forth. So basically, that's kind of the schedule on haircut. I've kept myself on haircuts the past few years, and I'm going to keep it going because it's a simple schedule to follow. It just helps me gauge when I need to get a haircut again, basically, regardless of the length of my hair at the time. So, but my hair does grow like at a steady pace. It just happens to take 3 months to get long enough to the point where I want to get rid of it. So, basically tomorrow is when I want to get a haircut, but it might not end up happening tomorrow because I still got 4 more work days left. So I might choose to just wait until my day off next week, which is Tuesday, to get it done, or I might just do it I might have to do it after a work day or something. It just depends on when the haircut place haircut place closes. I think it closes at 9 or 10 maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the plan. Just whenever I can fit a haircut in with the next week or so, that's when I'm gonna do it. So I might have my haircut tomorrow. I don't know. Who knows? So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's vlog, and I guess yeah, I guess we're going to June tomorrow. So, thank you so much. Bye.